Hello, everyone. Good evening. This is Dr. Jenn, the Intuitive Phoenix, here to offer information, answers to questions, opportunities to clear out what's got you stuck, what's got you blocked, bring clarity to where there's confusion. That's what we're here to do tonight. So if you've got questions, if you've got comments, whether you're watching live or a video recording at a later time, feel free to post those questions and comments below the video. I will respond. And if you are joining, let me know that you're here. Say hello. And it'd be great to see where people are joining from. So say hello and give me a general idea where you are, because we have people who join us from, well, locally here in Asheville, and then I know we have people that sometimes join us from other parts of the country and even other parts of the world. So if you're here, say hello so I know you're here, because I can't see everyone that joins unless we're already friends and we're already connected. And so it'd be just great to see who's here. And of course, you can start jumping in with questions or comments right away because we'll get started. And hey, Cal. Hi, Ruth Ann. Of course, Cal lives here in Asheville and Ruth Ann is in Whittier. All right, so North Carolina obviously is here. So again, as you join, say hello, let me know where you're from or where you're joining us from. And then if you've got questions or comments, the first people who put their questions and comments up are the first people that I'll start answering questions for, sort of addressing things for. I am glad to have everyone here tonight. I decided to do this call because I had a group call with people who are already working with me, and that was a little bit earlier, and I said, I'll be in the flow, so we might as well keep that momentum going. And in our group call tonight, we did some clearing and some aligning, not just for those of us who are on the call, addressing some specific areas in each of our lives, but we also did some work on a global scale. We addressed some beliefs and cleared out blocks so that way people could feel safe in their bodies, feel safe as a human being. So we did some work around that. We did some work around us being our most powerful healers. We did some work around abundance. And we were reminded that when we do work for ourselves, when we take care of ourselves, we address concerns and blocks and trauma and injuries, illness with ourselves, whether it's physical or emotional, spiritual or mental, we support this having a ripple effect in our community and in the world. We were reminded about that tonight. So again, if you're joining, say hello. Let me know that you're here because I can't see everybody who is here. And let me know where you're joining us from. And of course, as you have questions or comments, feel free to post them below and I will respond. So Ruth Ann says, my emotions have been amuck this past week. So let me see if there's anything that's coming through for Ruth Ann regarding her emotions being amuck. Okay, I'm being told there is some work that we can do. And we're going to start addressing it with beliefs. And for those who have joined before, I know some of you may be hearing this again because this really is foundational to the work that I do. It's how I clear blocks for myself and for others at a foundational, a core level, and then align us to that belief that we're wanting to experience physically, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally on a conscious and subconscious basis. So let me see which beliefs that we're going to start with tonight for Ruth Ann. Now, I have a list that I've been creating over a period of years, based on work that my own personal work, and also work that I'm doing with people like yourself. Okay, so Ruth Ann, I would like you to repeat out loud, obviously wherever you are, I am perfect and complete in this moment. Because what I'm getting is just some blocks to that. And this is a belief that is relevant to all of us because we are perfect and complete in this moment. So thank you, Ruth Ann, for sharing this question, because in addressing it for herself, she also, again, has that ripple effect for all of us to know that we are perfect and complete in the moment. I'm going to do some clearing around that. Okay, Ruth Ann, I'm going to ask you to repeat again. I am perfect and complete in this moment. Okay, and I'm getting yes. So that yes is telling me that the blocks that were there, that were getting in the way of Ruth Ann being connected to being perfect and complete in this moment. And I'm not talking about perfect as like, perfection. So many of us strive for perfection. I'm talking about we are perfect in this moment as we are. Whatever that may be, whatever it may look like, we are perfect in this moment. We're not broken. We don't need to be fixed. So that is the energy that we're creating with this belief. All right. Are there other beliefs to address at this time for Ruth Ann? Yes. Okay. And I also had said that in saying yes, that we were now aligned. Again, that's being aligned physically, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally on a conscious and subconscious basis. This is so important because if our mind is not on board with being perfect and complete in this moment, there's going to be challenges there. It's going to feel harder. It may take more effort to embody and feel and move through our day in a way that we really want to. Okay, Ruth Ann. Oh, I will use that as a mantra. Ruth Ann says I will use that as a mantra every day and often. I do use these belief statements that you hear me sharing in this group. I use them every day, sometimes multiple times a day, depending on what's going on, what I'm feeling, what's coming up for me. So I may not use the same ones every day, though I am safe is one that I use every day. Because if I'm not safe in my body and my being, again, physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, then anything that I do does not come from a place of being relaxed and present and grounded, not fully. There's this element of being in survival mode. If we don't feel safe, we're going to limit what we're willing to do and how we're willing to show up. And how we do show up is going to be limited if we don't feel safe. So, Ruth Ann, the other belief that is coming up for you, for us to address is, I am all that is. We often, certainly in the spiritual community, hear and talk about we are one with everything, we are one with each other. And this, I would say, takes it a little step further and just says we're not one with, we just are. We are all that is. That there is no separation, that we are, in fact, all that is. So, Ruth Ann, and repeating, I am all that is. Okay, I'm getting that there's some blocks there as well. So I'm going to clear those. Okay, and I'm going to ask Ruth Ann again to repeat after me, I am all that is. And now I'm getting a yes to that. Now, I know for some of us, and I say that because this used to be me, Believing that I'm all that is feels like a stretch, and certainly has in the past felt like a stretch. So it may sound corny. I imagine like the Avatar movie where the energy is running through all of the animals and all of the trees. They talk about that, like that energetic connection, and yeah, that energy that flows with everything. So there are times that I will literally close my eyes, some nice easy deep breathing, and imagine that flow that literally connects us as one, as all that is, that there is no separation. So I practice that. Let me see. Are there other beliefs to address for Ruth Ann at this time? No. Okay. Now a question I typically ask, are there general priorities to address? Yes. Now general priorities, when I address them this way, I picture it like a room or maybe your desk that's gotten cluttered. You know that there's stuff in there that you're not using anymore or that's not working, or a junk drawer that, you know, kind of is where stuff goes, or a closet, and you clean it out. And when you clean it out, it feels good. It's easier to find things. You know what's actually in there. So when I do some general clearing, that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to do that for Ruth Ann right now. Okay. And I'm getting that that's complete. So that general clearing. And the benefit of general clearing, yes, it feels good. It's easier to find things. It's easier to move. It's more efficient. So imagine that happening in your body, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. It takes less effort for our body and being to do what it needs to do, what it wants to do, what it's called to do. There's less confusion because there's less clutter to work through and move through. Okay. Is there anything else that we can do to support Ruth Ann and her emotions being amuck this week? Okay. Is it a message? Yes. Any other clearing? No. Okay. So Ruth Ann, the other piece that's coming through as far as the message is give yourself space to experience these emotions, to experience them. Let me see, is there anything else to say about that? No. Okay, most of us stuff our emotions, especially if they're emotions that we don't want to be experiencing, or when they're coming up, we don't want to be experiencing them then, so we stuff them down or ignore them, and especially those that we deem as negative, you know, anger, sadness, grief. I had somebody come in the other day and saying they were experiencing rage. So we tend to shut those down because we want the positive emotions. But the negative, and I will say that, I don't believe that they're negative emotions. I believe they are just emotions. They're healthy emotions. It is healthy to experience anger at times. It is an appropriate response to things that occur in our lives, in the world, etc. So I don't truly believe that there is a negative emotion. I do believe that we don't always handle our emotions appropriately, but I don't believe that they're truly negative or bad. So, Ruth Ann, as much as you're called, give yourself the space to experience those emotions. Sometimes, you know, I will have people say, oh, I want to be happier. I want to experience joy. And when I say, are you allowing yourself to experience and express anger, frustration, sadness? They're like, no. Well, to be able to experience joy, we also have to allow ourselves to express. We can't block out, ignore, numb anger, sadness, and think that we're not going to in some way block out happiness and joy. So, and of course, again, if you're joining, say hello. Let me know where you're joining from. I know we have some people who have joined from North Carolina, and I can't always see who's here. if we're not already friends or somehow connected. So yeah, let me know that you're here, where you're joining in from, and then of course if you've got questions or comments that you want me to address with you or in response to something I'm saying, feel free to post those and I will respond to them. Let me see if there's anything else for Ruth Ann. No. Okay. So I am getting that. Okay. Ruth Ann says, I did share difficult feelings with a friend today. And I'm getting that. Yeah, that was good. That was good. Let me see. Is there anything else around sharing? No, about that. No. I will say that too. Not only are we not always comfortable experiencing the emotions that are coming up, they may be confusing. We may not really know what they are. They seem to kind of be a mixed bag. And we're uncomfortable in our anger and our sadness, our grief, some of the other less wanted emotions. And not everyone can hear or share our space, hold space, or hear about those negative emotions. And they don't know how to respond to them. So I know sometimes it's a challenge to connect with someone who can be in that space with you. And that sometimes can be what shifts things beautifully, what lets you know you're fully supported. And it is one of the reasons, and I'll post it in the comments, I do have a closed Facebook group. It's called the TIP community or the Intuitive Phoenix community. It is a free Facebook group. And the purpose is to have a place that you can share things like this. It's a safe space. It's a non-judgmental space. And it's a space, certainly, if you don't have somewhere else to be fully supported in what's going on in your life, this is the place to come. So I will post the details below. So for those of you who are called to join, please do. All right. And then Ruth Ann goes on to say, thank you so much, love to you. And you're very welcome, Ruth Ann, and love to you as well. So let me go back and see. Yeah, I've seen a couple people join. I don't know if they're still here. If Wendy's still here, hello, Wendy. If Debbie's still here, hello, Debbie. And Stephanie says, hi. Anything about her spiritual awakening? I know that Stephanie joined us the last time I had a pop-up. So let's see if there is anything for Stephanie today. Oh, I do get that, yes. Okay, and we're going to start with beliefs as well for Stephanie. And this is pretty standard. A reason for starting with beliefs, if our beliefs are clear and aligned, then anything else that we do has more impact. At least that's been my experience. Okay. So Stephanie, if you're still here, I'd like you to repeat after me. My world is a safe world. Okay, and I'm getting that there's some blocks there, so I'm going to clear those blocks. Okay, and then I'd like you to repeat again, my world is a safe world. Okay, now I'm getting yes. So those blocks have been cleared, and now it's aligned for Stephanie that her world is a safe world, physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, consciously, and subconsciously. It's key that it's aligned in all of those areas in all of those ways. Are there other beliefs to address at this time? Yes. All right. Stephanie, another belief for you, if you could repeat after me. It is safe to be heard. Okay, and I'm getting that that's a yes. That's already aligned. And I'm also getting that we can strengthen that vibration. So sometimes sometimes there's not blocks to things, but the vibration, the energy, the belief is like a baby bird. it's precious, it's fragile. So we want to strengthen that. Okay. So it is safe to be heard. Yes. Okay. Are there other beliefs to address for Stephanie? No. Okay. General priorities to address? No. All right. Are there recommendations for Stephanie? Yes. Is it something she's already doing? Yes. Stephanie, if you're still here, I'd like to know if there is a routine or ritual, if there are some activities that you do in the morning that support you overall, your health, your well-being, your spirituality. Um, so if you're still here, if you could answer that for me, because I'd like to know if there's something in your morning routine or ritual where you are doing something to support your overall health and well-being, your spiritual awakening, and let me know. We'll pay attention for that response. If you're here, you're just joining, say hello so I know you're here. Or if you're still here, you can say hello so I know you're still here. And let me know where you're joining from, because I'd love to see. I know we have some people in North Carolina, and I know other people who have joined come from other parts of the country and even the world. So I'd just love to see where you're from. And if you've got questions or comments, questions that you want me to answer or address, please post those below. If you've got comments or responses to things that I'm talking about, I'd love to hear from you. All right, let me see. Elaine has joined. Hello, Elaine. Okay, Kelly says hi because she's still here, and Elaine says hi. So again, if you've got questions, comments, feel free to post those below, and I will respond to them. We're waiting to see if Stephanie has a response to my question. And Stephanie, if for some reason you're disconnected or you finish watching this at a later time, and if you want to answer that question, just post it when it comes up. All right. So does anybody have questions? Now, I can tell you that when I'm working with somebody, they may share with me and we may address things that they're struggling with, things that has got them stressed or ways that they're overwhelmed. It also could be something about their physical health. It could be something about their emotional, mental health, their spirituality. It can be something in their business, in their personal life. It can be something with their pets. Because of course, if our pets are not okay, then we're usually not okay 100% either. So if you've got questions or comments about something going on in your life, feel free to share them. And it could be something that is going on right now. It could be something that you feel like you keep bumping up against, or you thought you addressed it and took care of it, and yet it keeps popping up. Or maybe you feel like you're dragging some emotional baggage, or you're going through a major transition. All of these things are all of these things, all of these experiences are things that we can check in on, we can ask about, we can receive information about, and take steps to provide relief and healing. So again, if you're here, say hello. Let me know that you're here because I can't see everyone. Let me know where you're joining from, and if you've got a question or comment that you would like addressed tonight or in response to something I'm saying. Okay. And one of the things that I like to highlight is anything that you do for yourself, Yes, it supports you, but it supports people that you come in contact with, that you work with, that you live with, that you have relationships with. It doesn't just impact you, but it impacts those around you. Everything that you do to raise your energy and vibration and being in alignment and healthy and take care of you supports and provides a level of ease for others to do it as well. So it's really important work. Everything that you do to show up for yourself is showing up for others. In my opinion, it's not selfish. As I've heard somebody say, it's self-full, because it's really about fully taking care of you, so that way you can fully or more fully support others. Um, there's a woman I've listened to her speak about this, and she talks about how we have to fill our cup, that we're doing things to take care of ourselves for our cup to be full. And then we want our cup to overflow, because when it overflows, that's what's available for us to share with others. Um, and and to choose who we share it with, that we don't have to put energy or attention, resources into something that we don't fully support or that's not in alignment to us, or just because somebody wants it. We have that choice around how we utilize our resources and how we share our resources. Um, so, one of my beliefs, we've been talking about beliefs tonight, is I'm my number one priority. And it's loving for me to support myself and follow through on supporting myself. Because again, I cannot be at my best to support you and my clients, in my relationship, in my family, if I'm not taking care of myself. So I am my number one priority, and I know that that's loving for me and for others as well. All right. I talked earlier. If you're interested and you haven't already joined, we have the TIP community, or the Intuitive Phoenix community. It is a free group, closed Facebook group, where we can come together and, well, we can connect. It's a safe space. It's a non-judgmental space. Just like when we do these pop-up lives, this is safe space. This is non-judgmental space. So sometimes what comes across in these sessions or these lives, people may ask questions, they may share information, and they may not be something you have experience with or that you necessarily agree with or believe. That you might think they're a bit out there, it might be woo-woo, you might think they're even a little crazy. And one of the things that I ask people to do is just keep an open mind. I know for myself, I have not experienced everything that somebody might share with me. At the same time, I do receive confirmation that what they're sharing was their experience and not a crazy experience. It's just their experience. So if you hear anything that seems out there for you, just keep an open mind, because you might surprise yourself, or you might make a connection or have an aha, or be able to release something. And it's because of what you're hearing that you would not have heard otherwise. So again, if you get questions or comments, feel free to post them. Let me know that you're here, where you're joining from. Because I know from meeting some of you after the lives, connecting with some of you after the lives, that people have been joining not only from North Carolina, where I live, but other parts of the country and even other parts of the world. I know I have a phone call scheduled at the beginning next week with somebody from the UK. And which brings me to a good point. If you're wanting to know more about this work for yourself, to get, maybe you're in a major transition, or maybe it doesn't even feel major, but it's a transition. There's a lot going on. It's a perfect time to utilize services of somebody like myself because it can help navigate those changes and those transitions with more ease, more consciously, without getting stuck. It can bring a level of efficiency and also a really great source of support. So if you have something going on in your life and you're thinking, well, there's something about this, but I don't know if this is it, you can send me a direct message, a private message here through Facebook, and we can set up a time to get on a call. So that way you and I can talk about it, find out what's going on, and find out, one, if I can help, and two, what that would look like if I can. We can uncover what the issue is, what the core issue is, because that's what we're always looking. We're not looking to take care of the surface or the symptoms. We are looking to get to the core of an issue so it can be fully healed and resolved. All right. So anybody else? I know it's been quiet here for a few minutes. So if there's anybody else still here, then feel free to say hello. Feel free to ask your questions, share your comments, and I will respond to them. And if you're watching this video at a later time after it's been, well, when it's a recording, and you're like, oh, I wish I was there. I wish I had the opportunity to ask a question. Feel free to ask a question because I will respond even if I'm no longer live. And two, there's a way that you can set yourself up to receive notifications every time I go live. If you're interested in being here live, and I know Ruth Ann did that, we had trouble connecting in the first one or two lives that I did, but tonight when I was on there, she was right there because she knew I was getting on. And she was the first one to jump in and have a question, and we addressed some things for her. So you can do that too. So that way you get notification anytime that I go live, and you can jump in and join in and get your questions, you can get questions answered, you can get some clarity, you can get some insight and some guidance. Often there are recommendations that come through for people that can take it a step further from maybe clearing out to integrating it and then being able to sustain what we've done. So the recommendations that come through are very unique for the person that I'm connecting to and speaking to at the time. All right, well, we've been pretty quiet here for a few minutes, so I am going to wrap up. Again, I'll post some comments that include the details for joining the tip community and also for connecting for a call if you're interested in getting on a call with me to find out, what's getting in your way, what's blocking you from getting the results that you're wanting to be experiencing in your life or business. And if I can help you move through those, process those, resolve those, heal those, whatever might be going on, and what that would look like if we work together, I will post those below. And if you're watching this at a later time, feel free to post your questions and comments. And I look forward to doing this again. Again, sign up to receive notifications. Watch for my posts that let you know when I'm going to be popping up for a psychic healing session. Oh, let's see. Jerry says you are amazing. Well, thank you, Jerry. The feeling is mutual. Jerry is amazing in herself. I love reading her posts. I love reading the things that she writes about and shares about because, I just love them. They're good messages. So say hello to Jerry too. Honestly, everybody that joins in here that's watching, that is asking for support or has a question, showing up is so important. It's the first major step to anything that we do. And when we come together in a group like this, whether you say something or not, you bring that energy and that support to resolution and relief. We're bringing resolution, relief, we're bringing healing, we're bringing, again, an area of safety, of non-judgment, not only to those of us who are here, but that moves out beyond us. There is a ripple effect. So for everybody who shows up, thank you, because there's always fabulous people here. Yeah, it always reminds me that I'm not alone in this. Whatever it is that I'm experiencing in my day, whether it's something that's great and awesome and I want more of, or something that I'm like, oh, I know that it's going to be okay, and I'm ready to move through it. Us coming together like this is one of the ways to do it. So again, thank you for everybody who's joined tonight. Look for those details in the comments below, and I look forward to connecting with you in my future lives and my future posts and in the group. All right, I am sending health and love and ease in your transformation till we connect again. I love you all. Good night.